Hi, and welcome back to my podcast, or hello if you're new. I'm going to just start with a bang. I've got a finished object, would you believe? I worked so hard on these over the last few weeks. I wanted them finished by last weekend, and I did it. And I just, I think Sunday I finished them. Started a new pair straight away, of course. I'll show you that in a minute. But I have finished my contrast blast socks. For those of you who don't know, this was Stephen West's sock along, which took place back in July, I think. And there was a piece of the pattern came out every week for 4 weeks. I kind of kept up with that on sock 1. Not sure which is sock 1, which is sock 2. I did do for those of you who know the pattern, there's a left sock and a right sock, and I did go ahead and do that. So I've made them so that they are a symmetrical pair, and I'm really happy with them. The only issue, there's this cable that runs down the gusset, and I've got a really deep instep, and this fitted me fine. I just cannot get this over my foot, which is a real shame. I tried it on once I'd finished the gusset, and there is just no way this is going to go over my foot. But it will go over my friend Julia's foot. So Julia is going to get this pair of socks. She's a good friend of mine in real life, and she often supports me by buying my patterns and kits and all sorts of things. So it's really nice to be able to gift her these socks, although she went and gifted me something. I'll show you that in a minute. Which she didn't have to do. It was very, very kind of her. But I was just happy to be making socks and giving them away. Lovely pattern. I really enjoyed the pattern. I liked the mystery of it. I enjoyed the different techniques. There were a few slightly new techniques to me. This cable here down the gusset was new. I don't think I would do that if I was doing socks again, because, well, certainly not for myself, because I know that I just need that bigger stretch around that part of the sock, and that just, it looks good. Well, it looks better on one side than the other. No, it looks better on that side. It just really cinches in the sock for me and doesn't work. But apart from that, great design. I love the heel. Let's open up a heel and show you. Isn't that cool? It's such a nice pattern, and I think it's going to be a good one for wear and tear as well, because you've got the two colours of yarn, the two thicknesses, the double thickness going across the heel. Really like that. What I really didn't like, and I did talk about this in a bit more length in the last episode, I do not like the yarn. This is Hobby Yarns Unicorn Solids sock yarn, and it's a definite thumbs down from me. It's patchy. The colouring on it is patchy. I don't know if the camera... Yeah, here's a bit here. Can you see this? Am I pointing at the right bit? Yeah, see this yellowish bit that's come through on the dark orange? There's bits like that all the way through it, which for me actually on this, because I'm pairing it with the yellow, it didn't matter. And it isn't that it picked up off the other yarn, it was like that in the ball. There were some knots in it, there was one right at the toe, there's mangled bits. Just overall, I'm not very happy with it. And it stained my hand yellow. The yellow colour stained these fingers yellow. Almost looked like I had some sort of nicotine smoker's yellow fingers. These are blocked. When I blocked them, quite a bit of colour did come off, mostly the yellow colour. I assume that won't happen much more. It's probably first washing or two, bit of colour's going to come out, and that is all. But in terms of comparing it with West Yorkshire spinners or paintbox yarns from Lovecrafts, it's kind of the same sort of price point, and I much prefer those yarns. Definitely recommend them. I mean, try it for yourself. It feels soft. I'd give it that. It does feel soft. Softness, I would give it a point. A generous point. But overall, nah, I won't be buying that one again. I do like their other yarns, as I did say in the other podcast. I'm not going to go into that in too much detail today. But pattern-wise, yay, if you like knitted socks. Woohoo! Right, bit of crochet content. I have gone back to this whip, which I hadn't really touched since June, maybe early July. I've got all these little bits. I have a head, which I'll talk about in a moment. I'm working on the doll from My Crochet Doll. Love this pattern. I've made one doll from this book before. It is Isabel Cassidian. Isabel Cassidian, there it is there. Brilliant book. Patterns are just, if I do a quick, patterns are just absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, this one ended up getting abandoned when I was busy working on my commissions for magazines, so it got chucked to one side. So this week I picked it up again, and I have reached the point where I have joined the legs and started on the body. So this one's worked foot up, and it's that clever technique where you just join the tops of the legs together with some chain stitches between them and start on the body. Now the head, I don't know if you saw the episode when I first made this, I put the eyes so far up, and that would be my one flaw in the pattern, although it doesn't really say where to put them, it just says place eyes, and it wasn't until I stuffed it that I realised how high they are. I've got a few ideas in mind. One, what happens if I unpick the nose and re-put a nose in here? Bearing in mind that this is all going to be hair. If we look at the doll, right, that might work. Thinking about that one. My other thought is just to unpick a little bit, reinsert eyes on the back, and just cover all this up with hair, and you'd probably never know. My third idea is, well actually I guess there's four. There's one to just ignore the fact that the eyes are a bit high, go with it. 2, flip it upside down, reposition the nose. 3, stick eyes on the back and cover, because they are safety eyes, they're not going to come out. Cover the eyes up with wool for the hair. Or 4, can I remember 4? Oh, remake the head. I now know that I've got plenty yarn, so I might make this a juggling ball and remake the head. I'm probably going to go with 4. What would you do? If you were me, what would you do? Would it bother you? I don't even know who I'm making it for, so I can't even kind of think, oh, it's for my niece, she'll never know the difference, she's 6. Or if it's going to be for someone who is going to be a bit more discerning about where the eyes are. The yarn, I got that in a charity shop. Isn't it lovely? It's, I don't know what it is. It was balled like this, so somebody had rewound it, possibly from a skein, I think, because it feels squishy and woolly and smells like wool. It's probably got some alpaca or something in it, because there's quite a lot of guard hairs. Can you see them? Lovely yarn, and I'm enjoying working it, and it's going to work up fast. And as soon as I decide what I'm going to do for the head, I will be soaring through that one. So should be some more progress on that for the next podcast. There are a few projects I haven't worked on at all. I haven't touched my sea glass sweater, and I think there's something else I haven't touched. But I'll pick them up again. I'm not even going to talk about them today. I will just carry on. What am I going to show you next? Something else I've worked on a fair bit is squares from a Battenberg blanket. I haven't attached any new ones, so if you want to have a good look at the Battenberg, go and check out my last episode, because I talked about it quite a lot and I showed it off at length. So this is the Battenberg blanket by Sandra Paul. So the last 2 weeks, it's been 2 weeks since my last podcast. The last 2 weeks, really all I've done is add to my squares box. I love my squares box. This one I just popped in last night. So I'm just building up this collection again before I start working some more, attaching them really. Maybe got 25, 30 done in the last few weeks. So that's gone well. I've been using more of the yarn from Otter and Papoose. These green ones were by Pamela. Oh, and I made a wee pile of lilac ones as well. And I reviewed her yarn on my blog. So if you want to have a look at that review, and there's a 10% discount code there as well if you want to know more about Otter and Papoose yarns. Check out my blog. I did give a 5-star review, really happy with the yarn. and I'm using it straight away in a knitting project. So there's a wee segue. I told you I'm going to rush through things today. I'll tell you in a moment why I'm so busy. So I cast on, new project bag, I cast on a pair of socks, another knitted pair. I do like to have a pair of knitted socks on the needles, and I've just got into the pattern element of it. This is the Woodland Trail Socks by Dana Ray Makes, and I was gifted this pattern by Dana Ray Makes just for commenting and supporting people who were taking part in her knit along. So, chuff with that. So, Otter and Papoose yarns again. This is the full skein of orange, the little marker. Oh, isn't it cute? Oh, it's shining out. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Go the other way. There. Is from Otter and Papoose yarns as well. And it's working up really nicely. Can you see the different... So it's semi-solid. You can just see the slight differences in it. I think it's really, really pretty. And the pattern, I have just got into the textured bit. Picked it up last night actually, and I thought, oh, this is perfect. I've got the pattern, memorised it, a few rows down. It's easier than it looks. Let's see, that's better. And I'd made a mistake. Instead of being at the marker, I thought I was at the marker, but I was actually at this point before the marker, and I switched to round 4 too early. So this band here didn't have the right number of rounds. So I managed to pick it back. Because I hadn't touched it for 36 hours, I just pulled all the needles out and rewound it to the right point, which was only a few rounds down, wasn't too bad. And because it had been sitting untouched for a few days, the wool kept its shape, and I was able to just carefully feed the needles back in. Phew, it all worked. I was really worried I'd have to unravel it back to the beginning because I am not that confident a knitter, but I didn't have to, so hoorah. So I am going to work on these. These are for me because it is my favourite colour, and I haven't made a pair of socks for me in a while, so this pair is for me. I've looked at the heel and the heel turn. It's going to be good for me, and I might even add an extra couple of rows to the heel just to make sure. I'll find out once I've done some more. I'll see how this is looking. I think it's going to be good though. I'm working the largest size, which is 72 stitches, and I am using 2.25mm cheapest chips bamboo needles, which are starting to get, I don't know if you can see, are any of them showing up? Maybe this one. They're starting to bow a little bit, which is bugging me because it makes it spin as I'm working on it. And I have just ordered a set of Leica double pointeds. I've actually ordered 2 sets because I like to try and get my 2 socks on the go at once if I can, although I haven't done that this time because I haven't split the ball in 2. But I've ordered 2 sets of the Leica driftwood double pointed needles in 2.25mm size, so I'm excited about them coming. Should be any day now. And like I say, new project bag. Look at this. This is what Julia gave me. Julia, as well as being an online friend, is a real life friend as well, and she goes to the same craft group as me. It's a craft group that my husband set up, and we run in our town here. And Julia goes to that, and I was at that, and Julia, sorry, just noticed something on my thumb, pulled it off. Julia gifted me this bag, which was so kind of her. It's from So Yarnalicious, and it's got this poppety bit, and then if you fold the top down and clip that in there and clip that down here, that keeps it nicely shut. It's a good spacious bag. It'll hold a big pair of socks, couple of skeins of yarn even. It would be enough for a lightweight summer top or a shawl or something if you've got a few skeins. It's nice and deep, and it's got a zippy bit. So I'm really happy with this. Thank you, Julia. Very kind of you, and I'll try and pop the link to So Yarnalicious. I believe they have an Etsy shop, and I will pop the link to that in the description. And there should be all the other descriptions. No, there's just one description. All the other links and any other info you might like will be in the description. Right, I have another project bag to show you, and this one is my Lazy Days Cal project bag. And this week I put the remainder of my Lazy Days wrap kits up for sale. Tuesday they went out to my mailing list first, and then on the Wednesday morning I put it up on Instagram, and by early evening they'd all gone, so yay! No more kits. That was taking up a lot of space through my craft room. I really just suddenly wanted rid of them. I wanted the space back so I could think and move on for what's coming up next. I do still have quite a lot of just the empty Lazy Days Cal bags. I've got plans for these next summer. Basically, the more you bought, the cheaper they got, and because I was just setting out selling physical products on my website, I was slightly ambitious and I ordered hundreds of them, right? So, tomorrow, this is why I've been busy this week. No, I keep thinking it's Friday. It's Thursday. It's Thursday the 7th of September. And I've written an email to my list saying tomorrow because it's scheduled and it'll go out tomorrow, and then tomorrow is the day I'm about to talk about, which is the Scottish Yarn Festival, which is taking place in Perth this Saturday, and I'm going to be there on Saturday, and I'm going to have a 1-hour designer slot at the Sealy McWheely Designers Explorium, which is really exciting. When Eva Christie, who is the organiser of the festival, that's right, train, reached out to me back in May, I think, maybe June, early this year anyway, asking me if I'd like a table at that. I was so happy to have been invited, leapt at the opportunity straight away, and basically Sealy McWheely, who is Katie, who has a mostly spinning, other yarn and things, lots of spinning wheels, shop in, I'm gonna say Tillicoochee, could be wrong there, in Scotland somewhere. I haven't been. It's on my list. I don't know where it is exactly because I follow Katie online, so it doesn't really matter where it is, does it? But yeah, one of these days I'm gonna make it there. It just looks beautiful, so go and check out her shop. And anyway, she has been setting up this space within the Perthshire Yarn Festival, and various designers have got a 1-hour table to showcase what they're up to. So I'm going to be there on Saturday, and I'm bringing along, I'm not going to be selling anything, I am just bringing along samples of things which I've designed in the past, and I have got a special sign-up offer for my mailing list, which is actually live now. So see the link that'll be in the description to my mailing list. If you click on that, there's this special offer on just for the weekend for a free mitts pattern. So just to keep it simple, that's the same across the board. So if you haven't signed up to my mailing list, now's the chance, because you're going to get a free Mavis mitts pattern. It's one of my popular patterns. And if you come along on Saturday to my stall, and there's going to be a word going out in tomorrow's email. If you say that word, you will get one of these project bags. I'm bringing 10 of these along with me. So the first 10 people, if you're local, come along, check your inbox, grab that word, and see me on Saturday. And if you're one of the first 10, I am giving away those bags. I do have plans for them for next summer. You're going to have to wait and watch and find out what I'm going to get up to, but I do have a plan for next year for them as well. Okay, am I talking too fast? Probably. I'll try and slow down for the last one because it is a slow project, which is good. I do like a slow project. I'm doing this one. Am I got it right way around? This pattern here from the Shawl Project Book 5. It's a Joanne's Grace pattern. I showed it the last time and I worked a fair bit on it actually in the last 2 weeks. It has grown. Oh, should have shown you. I always just throw things out without showing. I know in everyone else's podcast they show off the bag. It's a lovely bag. Granny Love, which is good for the not so granny wrap. And look, it has grown a bit. Last time I had just finished this pink stripe. Have I got it the right way up? I think it's the wrong way around. This way. Last time I had just finished the magenta here, and I was away to start here. So I've done the pale pink and I've done the whole of the next dark section, ready to start the next colour. So that's not bad, considering it is lace weight yarn and it's pretty slow. It takes me at least 15 minutes to get from one end to the other. So it's not a fast one, but I am enjoying the slowness of it, the repetitiveness of it, and it's going to be so worth it. It's just light as air. Feels amazing. But at the same time, I can already kind of try it on a bit. It's going to, wow, really trap in the warmth. Feels great. Probably looks ridiculous like that, but it feels great. And this is Fibrespates Scrumptious Lace in the colourway Magenta. And I also have my 2 contrast colours. I'm ready to start this one again. This one won't come up for a while. I'm just going to repeat that pattern. So the pattern is written for 4 colours. I only have 3. So I'm going to go, we're this way around. I'm going to go back to the darker greyish one, which is this one. They don't look too, they look very similar when you see them in the skein, but when you see them crocheted up, they're quite different. So I'm going to go back to this one and just keep repeating that pattern like that. So it'll be dark pink, well, the magenta between the stripes every time. And I think that'll work. I've got about 1.5 of these, so that'll make up for the fact that I only have 3 colours. Isn't it fab? Was there something else I was going to say about this one? Oh yeah, these yarns are from In the Yarn Garden, which I think, nobody's come to me and said otherwise, but I think that they no longer exist because I can't find them online anywhere. The yarn was gifted to me, so I have no idea where it originated from. So was this one. They all came together from the one person. Lovely. Well, I think that is all my projects. Like I say, I was going to keep it brief today. I didn't want to miss. And this morning I was kind of, I'll just skip. I'll not do podcasting. I'll just skip it. So much to do to get ready for Saturday. And then I thought, no, I'm just getting back into it after that long break. I'm going to have to do it today. So I am. I will be back in a couple of weeks' time with Perthshire Yarn. No, it's not the Perthshire Yarn Festival. It used to be the Perthshire Yarn Festival. It's now the Scottish Yarn Festival. I'll be back with news of how that went. I can't wait. Really excited for Saturday, which is 2 sleeps. I'll be talking about that, and I'll probably have progressed a bit on these projects. And I'll hopefully my sea glass sweater as well, because it's a bit warm just now, but it will soon be getting cool enough to wear that. So I need to get on with that and get that one finished. So thank you for watching today. Let me know in the comments what you have been working on as you've been watching. I do love to read about what you're up to, and anything else you want to comment on, please leave me a comment. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you all in 2 weeks. Bye!